Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Okay, as usual, I hope that all of you had a restful and great weekend. And here we are starting the week off, hopefully, with a lot of gusto and enthusiasm. I wanted to talk about something I'm observing at the moment, and that is a lot of change that's happening in people's lives. Some of it is perceived as negative, but I want to emphasize that when we're going through major change and change that is it's going to bring transformation, and it's going to bring complete changes in your ideals and your priorities and all kinds of things like this. It is a time that can be very intense and very tumultuous. So when we're experiencing this, we think, oh, this is such a terrible thing. What am I going to do? How am I going to cope? But sometimes there is necessary chaos before we have ourselves breaking into a new state of being or having a new experience. So a lot of the time, I want to just say, have the courage to do what needs to be done, do the hard things. Sometimes we don't have a choice. It's just we feel like a victim of circumstance and we're just kind of riding the wave, but allow that to happen. All right. I put this deck of cards here just to show which deck I'm going to be talking about today, and also because I talk a little bit in between or in the beginning before I actually start the reading, I thought, well, let me give you something to look at. But at the bottom of this deck, we actually had the whale spirit coming up, which says, trust the great mystery. And that is so interesting because I really feel like this is what I need to say to those people right now. Just because you don't know what's coming doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Okay, we could be making a major change, taking a big, huge risk in our lives, doing something that is really out of our comfort zone because we've been doing the same thing for 10 years, whatever the case is. I really feel like this is very important. This is saying things have been out of balance and you need to bring them back into balance. And you need to trust the great mystery. Trust what's happening. Trust where you're being led. Trust the things that are happening. Even if they are seemingly negative things and you think, oh, this person has betrayed me, or whatever the case is. I'm seeing a lot of people go through this, but be grateful that that person's true colors have shown, that, you're actually getting the true story, that you are being shown the truth. It's terrible to think that we've been hurt or betrayed by somebody, but you know what? Rather know the truth. And if that means that you need to walk on a different path and do something different and walk away from that person or walk away from that situation, whatever it is, know that there's something better for you around the corner. Trust the great mystery. Okay, float along like the whale and be carefree and wait for that balance to be restored, because I feel like to some extent we are just what we would perceive as victims of circumstance, but there's something bigger happening. All right, so that is your reading that's already started for the week ahead, because the minute I turned that over, I knew that it needed to be shared. So let's see what else. Let me leave that one up there. There. Yep, okay, and we'll see what else comes up for the week ahead. Just going to do a quick shuffle. I'm sorry if the lighting isn't great. It's not usually the time of evening that I do this, so it's a little bit different, but hopefully good. It serves the purpose. Okay, can I please see if there's any other general energy of the week ahead that we need to be aware of? We've got 3 that popped out there. Okay. Hummingbird spirit, be here now. Koala spirit, spirit has a plan. How much more direct can this be? Make your dreams real. This is wonderful. Okay, I've got someone very close to me who's going through something similar to what I've just described a couple of minutes ago. Okay, the hummingbird spirit, these are really just talking to each other. It's saying be here now, be in the moment. Okay, being in the moment, something we really struggle with nationwide, worldwide, as far as I'm concerned. We've lost the ability to just be in the moment, appreciate where we are, who we're with, what's happening in that moment in time. Instead of having anxiety because we're worried about what's already happened in the past, we're worried about what's going to happen in the future, and life just passes us by. Okay, so it's saying embody this kind of energy, be in the moment. Look at everything around you that you have to be grateful for or that you are engaging with right now. Be in this moment. You could not have a moment in the next 10 minutes. Okay, but your life doesn't serve you worrying about that, because you could worry about the next 10 minutes for the next 20 years. Be in the moment as much as you can. Spirit has a plan. You need to be trusting that. Okay, this is what this trust the great mystery was trying to tell us as well as an overall energy. Spirit has a plan. Just because you can't see it, or you don't know how it's going to turn out, or you're not in control of it, which is most of our problem, most of us, that's the problem. We want to have control. We need to know how it's going to be, what direction it's going to move, and we feel the need to control everything. And sometimes we need that wake-up call that tells us you're not in control of everything. And if you were, it wouldn't work out as well as if when you have actually got the ability to give Spirit a chance to show you what's going on. Sometimes we are so rigid in our behaviors, in the way that we think. We're trying so hard to control everything and hold on to everything, and just we're unable to let go. And when we do actually get to that place where we are so very rigid, we'll find that we do feel like things are collapsing. And that's because Spirit is saying, wait a minute, you cannot be in control of everything all the time, because you might send yourself down a path that is 10 times worse than the path we have for you. Or you could make things much more difficult for yourself, because you're basing it on the very limited knowledge you have from the very small amount of time you've been on this planet. Okay? Expand your horizons. Allow Spirit to show you. Say to Spirit, show me what's possible. Okay? And know that things don't happen by accident. They are not always just by chance, and you're not always in control of them. And the minute we allow that, that's when things really open up for us. All right. Make your dreams real. All right. So this is actually quite representative of what I'm trying to describe here. They're always talking about weaving your fate, weaving the great mysteries of life. In the Norse mythology, they talk about the Norns who weave your fate. And here you have the spider who is representative of this, sorry. And you have a part to play, okay? You are able to manipulate this to some extent and to weave your own web. But there's also a part that Spirit has to play. You wouldn't have the web if the powers that be didn't give you the web. Okay, and the web can lead in different places, and you can hook it onto different places. And sometimes it's good to ask for a bit of guidance on how we should do that. But also, it's talking about your dreams. Take that leap of faith. Do that thing. Spirit has got a plan. Okay, you don't always have to know all the details, the tiny intricacies of every single thing that you do. If you feel compelled to do something, or to step away from something, or to step towards something, do it. Because what compels you is what leads you. And it's usually Spirit trying to say, take this opportunity, do this thing. And we try and block it off because our logical mind, which we are, it's drummed into us to apply logic and reason to everything. That doesn't help you when you're trying to stick onto your spiritual path. Okay, sometimes logic and reason is not something that we need. Sometimes we just need to follow our gut, because that is our higher self, our guides and our guardians trying to say, this is what you should be doing. This is what's going to be good for you. Don't listen to everything that society says or your friends say. Listen to yourself. Listen to your heart. Listen to your gut. That is what leads you in the right direction. All right, let's see what else. If there's anything else we need to know, please. Any action cards or anything any other guidance we need. Whoops. I just threw you guys away. Sorry, I knocked it flying. Okay, let's fix that up. I'm not sure exactly how I had it. There we go. I think that's it. Okay, so Parrot Spirit came up, which says, watch your words. All right, so when we're dealing with a situation like this, it can be something that's difficult or uncomfortable. It can be very testing and frustrating for us at times. And I often talk about this. Your words have power. Okay, so how you speak to yourself is very important. That's something that some people neglect. They're worried about how they speak to other people. But self-talk is also important. All right, don't degrade yourself. Don't use berating words and expressions when you speak about yourself. Watch your words. Okay, let's see if there's any other guidance coming through. I just want to make sure that I'm not going to knock this over again. Sorry about that. Oh, one did turn itself around. Here we go. See the big picture. I love the fact that they've used a giraffe. The giraffe obviously is one of the tallest mammals that we have on the planet, and he gets a real bird's eye view or a giraffe's eye view of everything around him. This is saying keep things in perspective, okay, and zoom out. I always say to people, zoom out. That's how you get the big picture. When we are stuck in the fray of a situation and we are in the storm in the teacup, so to speak, it's very important that we try to remind ourselves, and it's not easy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is something that's really easy and I do it all the time. It's never the case. Okay, I also make mistakes, and that's the only way that I get to a point where I can sometimes give other people advice on situations I've been in. But take the time to pretend that you are someone else looking in on that situation. You can be a complete stranger or you can be a good friend and say, what advice would I give myself right now about the situation? What do I need to know? What am I seeing that I don't see when I'm actually stuck in that situation? If I wasn't someone on the outside looking in, what advice would I give to myself? What am I seeing? Okay, and also see the bigger picture in terms of if you're dealing with a crisis, ask yourself truly, how big is this in the larger scheme of things? In the larger scheme of things, even taking it to the next level of in this lifetime, how monumental is this occurrence? And in, all the time that my soul has been here or been around, not just in this lifetime, and all the time that I'm still going to live, how big a deal is this really? How monumental is this issue in my life? A lot of the time, that is what is a very sobering thought, and we think, wow, what am I freaking out about? Why is this such a big deal for me? This is actually, ask yourself, am I going to care about this in a year's time or 5 years' time or 10 years' time? Am I going to remember the situation? Because a lot of the time, the answer is probably no. Okay, so get things in perspective, see the bigger picture on where you live, where you fit in to a bigger group of people or a bigger organization, or on a grander scale, where you fit in this world or in this universe. In the larger scheme of things, most of the issues that we're dealing with really aren't as big a deal as we think they are. And I'm not downplaying any experience that anybody's going through right now. Please don't misunderstand me. But a lot of the time, if we really think about it, this too shall pass, and it's not the end of the world. Okay. It might be the beginning of a whole new experience for us, though. Okay, because we're working towards our dreams. We're listening to our soul and the direction it wants to take us in. Okay, I'm just trying to decide if I'm going to use the card from the bottom of the deck or ask for one more. I might do both. Okay, are there any other cards just for general advice or action cards, please? There we go. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Horse spirit. Freedom is yours. That is a really beautiful card. Okay, so I really think that this is saying you have the ability to overcome any adversity that you face right now. You have the power to overcome obstacles, and you need to push forward. You need to do this. Freedom is yours. You are at the 11th hour with regards to whatever this heavy situation is that you might be dealing with. Okay, make your dreams real. Freedom is yours. And the bottom of the deck, claim your independence, cat spirit. Okay, this has the potential to bring in stability and grounded energy. All right, and a foundation for you to build something that really can grow, that you can build your own little empire in some way or another, or you can build something that really is going to hugely influence your future. Oh, I've just lost power, everybody. I guess that's the end of my reading. Welcome to South Africa, where we have our power going off every now and then. I do humbly apologize, but I have finished my reading. So I wish you all a beautiful week further. Lots of love, and I'll chat to you soon. Bye for now.